Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. And friends, I have Sandeep with me. And we decided to do this again because last time we had too much fun. And I guess many of you liked it. So we thought, why not do it again? And today I thought I'll talk to Sandeep about ARM holdings because Sandeep mentioned in his comment this morning that he had shorted it and he's making money on it. So Sandeep, tell me your scoop about ARM. Why did you short it and what is your theory?
Oh, well, thank you for that wonderful introduction. And yes, I did open a short position on ARM, and I added to the short this morning when it popped. Um, a lot of the viewers know I like to do a little bit of math, a little bit of fundamental analysis, and find out why are these companies running, what's going on. And what I discovered about ARM just made me very, very bearish. And Raj, you put out a great video a short while ago comparing ARM, AMD, and NVIDIA, which are some of the really big runners in terms of AI and these chip semiconductor plays.
Yeah.
So and in that video, you concluded ARM is the one that's the most expensive right now.
It seemed like
And
that in that video.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I had no idea just how expensive and what I discovered I'd really like to share. So,
Listen, you
hmm,
you didn't go by my analysis alone, right? You did your own
no, of course
analysis
not.
because
Yes,
mine
yes,
was financial advice,
yes.
not financial advice.
Yes,
It
correct,
was
correct.
personal opinion.
Mm. Yes, yes, thank you for clarifying.
I don't want you to come suing me that Raj, you told me to buy ARM, I bought it and now I have lost money.
I did my own due diligence.
Okay.
I read the whole disclaimer and I made sure I agree.
Please proceed.
So the in my opinion, the only reason ARM is running right now is because it's an AI and semiconductor play, and because NVIDIA is running. ARM is a DR depository receipt for a UK company and has a very small float, meaning it's easy to manipulate. And what a lot of people aren't considering, what I found out after digging into the SEC S8 filing and F1A filing and reading something on Reuters and CNBC, is there is a lot of dilution expected in March this month. So a little bit of background on ARM. The company SoftBank, a bank in Japan, owns 90% of the ARM shares. And I went through and searched just lockups and some of the things put into that little agreement they made. And SoftBank, what I discovered, 75% of its equity interest is set for a lockup agreement, which is due in 180 days since the prospective filing. So I did a little bit of math. The amended filing was September 15th, which brings us to the second week of March, which I confirmed with CNBC. And what I discovered on Reuters is the date of March the 12th. And that is the date where SoftBank can start selling their 75% position in ARM. Yeah. And ARM's dilution at that point could be a big drop in the AI companies. It could not just be for ARM, it could be for some of these other companies. Just speculation. So I went ahead and took a look, a little bit of more research, and found out that SoftBank, it bought ARM in the year 2020 for $32 billion. Right now, the market cap is $145 billion. And that is a very significant increase, a very big increase. So if I was SoftBank, would I not want to take a little bit of money off the table? And what I found, the SoftBank CEO Masayoshi Son just said a few weeks ago, actually a couple months ago, in about a month ago, he said he seeks to build $100 billion AI chip venture. And SoftBank, currently being the largest holder in ARM, I think it's likely that once March 12th comes around and once that lockups expire, SoftBank is probably most likely going to be selling out of some of that position because bought a company for 30 billion, worth 145 billion right now. And you're looking to fund $100 billion venture for an AI chip company, you're going to need capital. And SoftBank, the company, has committed to about 30 million of that, but that additional 70 million has got to come from somewhere.
ARM.
Yeah, it's got to come from either ARM or finding other investors or something.
Yeah.
So I even went into SoftBank's website and saw that they have a history of buying and acquiring companies and starting new ventures, diversifying into new areas, which is great. That's part of the reason why ARM exists today, because we have very high capital investors doing that. So why wouldn't they stop? They would still continue. They would take some of their initial investment, which is what most venture capitalists would do, and diversify into a next venture, the next 10 bagger. So I'm just thinking, wow, March 12th, a company that owns 90% of the stock is going to be able to sell 75% of this. And that made me very interested. But it wasn't just that. It wasn't just that.
Okay.
If I can share this, I went ahead and did ARM here. And this was as of the weekend.
Yeah.
It was trading at $142.
Right.
And I found the Wall Street estimate, the end of year EPS was 1.2, giving it a forward PE of 118, which is so much higher than all the AI companies. But Wall Street did expect earnings to grow at 22%, which gives it a PEG ratio amongst the highest I have ever
Higher than
seen.
NVIDIA also.
Yes, yes, 5.38. And I'm just thinking, oh my
In fact, in
goodness.
your chart, AMD and NVIDIA look way better
Yes. Oh,
in terms of new PEG.
yes, I would need to update some of these numbers because AMD and NVIDIA have increased quite a bit.
Okay, I take back everything I said. Yeah.
Even considering that,
Yeah.
ARM is the most expensive stock on some of these growth companies. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this company is running just
So you
because.
went immediately and shorted it out.
Yeah. So I went ahead and I opened up. I didn't have enough capital to do short shares because this is a $142 company,
Right.
and we have these loonies which aren't worth as much. So I went ahead and opened up a couple puts and added to those puts, and
Okay.
currently I am up about 19.8% of that.
Okay.
Which is pretty good. However, I am going to see what happens next week on March 12th. We also got a lot of Fed speak coming in and just a lot of events happening. But this made me very bearish. And after looking into it, even more bearish on ARM.
But there are some confusing, there are some confusing signals. I want to share a screen with you.
Please.
And I will show you two places where I have these confusing signals, which I want to check out. See, for example, you have ARM out here, right?
Yeah.
Now this is a bullish pennant. So we are supposed to come out on the upside, okay?
Yeah.
So which we managed to do, but we came back down. Post market, ARM gained around 45 cents today after close. Okay. Now, typically, in most of the cases, this has to come on the upside. So this is one contrary indication to what you are thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
The other contrary indication to what you are thinking, I'm not disagreeing with the numbers and all, and my own video from earlier, is that when a big company like SoftBank is got so much of gains in a particular unit, then they would want definitely to reduce their exposure, because as percentage of their portfolio, this must have expanded and become a very big part. So there is pressure from that point of view. But at the same time, they also are going to hold that company for long term. So they don't want its value to go down. And they don't want to cause problem for the shareholders. So they might come up with a financial structuring so that they can keep on releasing shares without disturbing the price too much. And it will take them a little longer to dispose of all the shares.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, if you look at the total number of shares that the company has got, the dilution is not there. Dilution, I think, is virtual because we had 10% float among general public. When you look at companies like CRISPR and others also, there are holders, institutional holders who have around 65% or something of holdings. It exists for all practical purposes. When you do EPS and any of those calculations, it is still there. It's not like new shares have been introduced.
Right.
Just what we are saying is for the demand and supply play, the base volume is going to go up. It's not as bad as issuing fresh equity.
Right.
Right. So that's one. The other contrary indication which I see here is, I'm going to make it very quick because I already done this in the latest video that I released, is Russell index. I can see a reverse head and shoulder out here.
Hey.
Which means there should be a target of 210. This is bullish. Okay. But at the same time, we have a high interest rate regime. And in Russell 2000, this is Russell 2000, right? It has all small cap companies. Small cap companies, if they want to expand or anything, they need to borrow. And if they have problems, they need to borrow. And for them, it will be high interest rate and they don't have the pricing capacity. Therefore, they won't. So their forward earnings will not grow. Therefore, there'll be a damper on their stock price. So that is contrary to the technicals we see here. So we have to look at both technical fundamentals, and this doesn't give any clue where it is going because it's above average momentum and flat. So we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. It could go either way. And the bullishness is also very steep, unsustainable. So maybe it will come sideways, attain this target, and then come down. I don't know. Right. So I just wanted to give a brief idea. But coming back to the topic we have on hand, right? You were talking about ARM. So I thought I'll dig into my past and give a little bit of background to some of our viewers who may not have a computer background about what all these things about ARM is, what the excitement about ARM is all about. So ARM basically follows the RISC architecture. RISC is reduced instruction set computing. So my very first job was was in a franchising company, which was franchising computer education. And I was doing corporate training, and then I started training students also. So my subject was C language programming, right? So at one point of time in my early career, I joined a company in India called HCL Hewlett Packard, and they had various collaborations to sell servers to big companies in India. So we were selling HPUX servers, and we were selling Sun Spark servers and all. At that time, for the first time, I got to learn about RISC, Reduced Instruction Set Computing. The traditional one we have is called CISC, Complex Instruction Set Computing, which is what Intel is all about. So in those days, I used to be teaching in what is called as Turbo C. It was from Borland Corporation, and it's a C language compiler. So it had a library. If you included that library, you could do assembly language programming inside the C language code that you're writing. So basically, complex instruction set computing has got a lot of instructions in the microprocessor itself so that the operating system can be simpler and the software can be simpler. Reduced instruction set computing has got less instructions in the chips so that you have to do a set of instructions in the software side in order to get the processor to do whatever you want it to do. So those are the things. The benefits is that simpler instructions for Intel kind of processors, and it's much more efficient in decoding and all that stuff. But there is lower power consumption in RISC. Simpler design and efficient execution can lead to lower power usage, making them attractive for mobile devices like your cell phones. And now it becomes even more attractive when you want to have a smaller footprint for, as AI becomes more and more powerful, you want to pack more and more into smaller areas. So RISC, that's the way I understand it. And in 1960s, when this concept came in first, it's not a brand new concept. So it was, I think, in IBM that they came up with this. Somebody called Stanley Feldman and John Koch. they bought it up, and around mid 1970s, there was a project called as the Stanford MIPS project, which successfully implemented RISC principles, including future architectures. And companies like Acorn Computers, which later on became ARM, and Hewlett Packard began developing and commercializing RISC processors. And Sun Microsystems, which is what I was selling, introduced Spark, which was scalable processor architecture, a successful RISC architecture used in their workstations and servers. And ARM, which is Advanced RISC Machines, that's the full form for ARM. It was founded in 1990. It's a company that licenses its RISC-based processor designs to other manufacturers. This approach allows for customization, and it has led to widespread adoption of ARM chips in various devices. And late 1990s and onwards, ARM chips gained significant traction in mobile devices due to their efficiency and low power consumption. These are the two things that we need in our cell phone, in the Apple Watch, and those kind of smaller devices. And even for that matter, vloggers take these cameras to go out and do dynamic videos. So for all that, you want lightweight and low power consumption, lasting longer. So that's what was there. And in the 2000, ARM processors became the dominant architecture in smartphones and other portable devices. And in the present day, ARM chips continue to evolve and find their way into laptops, servers, and even supercomputers, while maintaining their dominance on the mobile devices. So the most important thing is that it's going to help scale up AI, and that's where the excitement comes from. And the second place the excitement comes from is customization. So if you can customize and do customized job, I think even NVIDIA was talking about customized. So the word customized is conducive for RISC. So I think that's where all the excitement comes from. So this was my 2 cents of the technical things. I don't have in-depth technical knowledge from a hardware perspective, but drawing on my past experience of sales of these kind of servers and my past C language programming, I think this is what I would like to say is my understanding of what RISC is all about, Sandeep.
That is wow. I had
Yeah. Do
no
you have
idea.
anything that you want to add, like from your perspective?
I had no idea you had such a
Yeah, I've
intricate
done a lot of
knowledge
things.
of this now.
That's the story of RISC, and that's the story of my introduction to RISC.
Thank you for sharing.
So
That's
Sandeep, I sold 20 ARM holding stock this morning
ooh.
because I was in profit already.
Hmm.
And I was seeing my profit margin declining with every passing minute.
Oh,
So I just decided I'll take profit, even if it is a few dollars, but I don't want to get it locked into a loss position.
yeah.
So I sold it off, and I have the cash sitting there. And I also sold FNGU this morning,
Hmm.
and I'm very
Okay.
happy because it went down further.
Yeah.
So I have my powder dry for the future adventures.
For
So looking
potential
forward to tomorrow.
related
Yeah,
Fed related downturns.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for
So we
sharing.
have to look for more economic data to come in, and
Yeah.
that could change the tone later this week.
Uh,
I think on Thursday. Yeah.
hmm.
Okay, Sandeep. Then I think
Oh,
we are done. I
there's
suppose.
one thing I did want to share with,
Sure.
and this is a little thing that I saw which made me very laugh kind of hard, which was this one little picture where Nvidia is holding up the market and companies which I believe have very good fundamentals like Intel and AMD are just watching as some of these other companies like SOUN do very well. So I
This is a
saw this
good
and I
meme.
thought, wow, I gotta save this.
Yeah, this is really good meme.
Yes.
Thanks, Sandeep. So
Hmm.
we end with a lighter note. So
Yes.
thanks a lot, guys, for watching our video. If you have watched till the end, please do not hesitate to press a like out there, and please subscribe and press notify. It helps the channel. Thanks and have a great day. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow. Thanks, Sandeep. Good night.
Bye, friendos. Thank
Bye.
you for the lesson, Raj.